What's up, everybody? At least the three people at the bar.
Because it's 2 o'clock on a Wednesday. People work, Nate.
It's true. That's fine. We got all the time in the world and all the privacy we need to talk all the bullshit we have to talk.
I don't want anything private with you in the corner.
Oh, you just told me I can do it standing up if I want to.
Yeah, good thing you're not.
This is the Nate and Joe show. I'm Nate. This is my partner, Joe.
Hi.
We took a 2-week hiatus.
Jarrett's here.
Yeah.
Hey.
Mr. Jarrett Young is doing our sound for us today.
And being the man.
We took a 2-week hiatus, but we are back, and there's a lot of stuff that we have not talked about that has been going on in the sports world. Namely, the whole football debacle that's happening.
That shit should be a soap opera. I honestly stopped watching football just because it turned into a soap opera.
Well, I'll never stop watching football. That's just crazy talk.
Well, then
That makes no sense what you just said.
the NFL really doesn't have a problem, then, does it?
It doesn't. It does not at all. Hell, Ray Rice knocked his fiance, now wife, out, and you've got ladies coming to Baltimore Ravens games wearing Ray Rice jerseys, saying he deserves another chance. So, there's not a problem in the NFL apparently.
My question is just, Roger Goodell did that press conference, and that was probably the biggest waste of time I think I've ever seen.
He is the cockiest, most obnoxious dude on the planet. It's incredible.
My thing is this: the NFL's turned into a $9 billion industry. Has many great, top-notch lawyers. Roger Goodell probably has a direct staff of about 50, and then a lot of other people adjacent to him that could, advise him on PR moves, lawyers, what to say, what not to say. And $9 billion later, and all of that staff, you get a press conference that bad.
Yeah.
Like, nobody could be doing any worse for the NFL right now as it relates to.
Everybody on the planet has called for his head. Everyone wants him to step down, which as well he should. He is kind of a cancer for the NFL right now. He's a terrible, terrible face for the NFL. He's gotten everything wrong in the handling of all of this. Even whenever he says, I'm trying to get it right, all we want to do is do the right thing. We're going to turn around, we're going to do the right thing. No, you don't.
They never say what the right thing is.
Exactly.
There's never a plan. There's never a.
Roger Goodell has never apologized for any of the shit that he's gotten wrong.
They made the commissioner's shit list. I don't even know or care what they call it, but all that shit list is just a way to temporarily cover their ass while they figure out how to cover up their fucked up cover up. It makes no sense.
To me, the biggest problem with all of this, what kind of hurts my head the most about this, is that nothing would have ever changed. In the NFL, players have been beating the shit out of their wives for years, for ages. It's a violent sport. We've talked about that before. Violence breeds violence. But the only reason that they decided to do anything is because the public and everybody and their mother came down on Roger Goodell because of a 2-game ridiculous suspension for Ray Rice, which had a video of him knocking Janae out cold. And the only reason that he actually did anything to change anything was the fact that there was a video. Otherwise, it would have been 2 games. No one would have been the wiser. No one would have given a shit. Hell, you look at Brandon Marshall. Brandon Marshall got arrested for nearly killing his wife, for God's sakes. And Brandon Marshall is E60 just did a special on Brandon Marshall.
The football life.
The football life, exactly. He's trying to be a changed man. But it's all horseshit. It's all horseshit. Nothing was ever going to change. Nothing was ever going to happen. They knew these dudes were doing this, except there was a video, and you never let there be a video. You never let a video come out.
God damn it!
And and it's exactly what Floyd Mayweather, that wife beating son of a bitch himself, said. He's like, everything would have been cool, but Ray let it get on video. You don't let it get on video. What a piece of shit that guy is. It's incredible.
That's your mistake.
One thing that all of the isolated incidents aside, like, as a whole, my problem is that it was just NFL and everybody that worked for them was finding new ways to sweep shit under the rug.
Of course, that's what they do.
It was never meant as a way to reprimand or reform or make a situation better.
I've heard people say that. Suspend these guys, make them go to 6-week anti-abusal classes, or how not to beat your 4-year-old kid with a switch, or how not to hit your 18-month-old kid with a shoe. That's horseshit. They don't. That's not going to help anybody, Joe.
But I mean, real quick though, you're not wrong about that, because I do think that there's an element of truth to it. But number one, you can't try, and number two, you can't not try. You know what I mean? You have to do something. You can't just let shit like that continue. You can't just knowingly.
So hit them where it actually hurts them. Suspend them indefinitely without pay.
Well, no.
Take away, hit them in their wallet. And that's the only way to get through to these meatheads.
Well, that's what I was going to go into. Like, the precedent for this is what the NBA and the ABA did in the 70s when drug abuse was rampant. Crack and cocaine were rampant in the 70s and 80s in the NBA. And they actually went as far as to disband the entire ABA to kind of eliminate it. They got rid of half the league, and they only let 5 of those teams go to the NBA. Like that, I mean, not that something that drastic is going to happen, but you have to do something. And I look at the way that the NBA has handled their kind of cultural crisis as well. And, like, back when, like, in the early 2000s, I think it was, when some of the NBA players were getting out of line with similar issues, David Stern went as far as to implement a dress code. And everybody gave him shit for that and thought it was the dumbest thing ever.
The basketball players were up in arms. I remember when that happened. And they were very pissed off about it.
And so on and so forth. And everybody was in a tizzy.
Which a dress code is kind of horseshit.
But if you look like statistically at the way that their criminal bullshit has gone down since it's happened, and they've really made hard, stringent cuts on their code of conduct policy. Like, the NBA did a great job of getting in front of that, and they're reaping the rewards of that now. And I don't even really see the NFL making the effort. I see the NFL making the effort to cover their own ass. And a perfect example of this is last weekend at the Cardinals and Niners game. There was a fight in the stands that broke out, and it turned into a brawl, and a bunch of people got bloodied, and it was real bad. And, like, one of the dudes in the altercation, of course it got on YouTube, was in a Darnell Dockett jersey. And when the film broke, the Monday morning, I guess it was, Darnell Dockett saw it on Twitter and tweeted the guy that put the video out and said, "Tell the guy in the Darnell Dockett jersey to get a hold of me. I have tickets for him. I like that shit." And there was no reprimand for that at all. An innocent brawl in the stands. Like, and no reprimand, nobody speaks about it. It got swept under the rug, and it's just more bullshit.
Football is a violent sport,
that's why
and Goodell.
I can't get into it because it's just covering your own ass. Like, these guys have an opportunity and the platform to be influencers in their communities and make things work. Just make better lives for those around them, and they're beating their kids and doing dumb shit like that, and it's infuriating. You look back at Michael Jordan after he came back from retirement. The last 3 years of his NBA career, he literally sat in his apartment across the street from United Center and did nothing but play poker with his security guard because it kept him the fuck out of trouble. And if you're making however many millions of dollars you're making, there comes a point where you just got to stay the fuck out of trouble.
Well, not every NFL player is a piece of shit. Just a lot of them are, but I mean, unfortunately, the only ones that we're hearing about these days, the AP and the Greg Hardy and the dude from Arizona and the dude from San Francisco. I forget they're drawing blanks on their names right now, but regardless, it's you've got players like David Nelson. Thank you, brother. Players like David Nelson, who ex-Gator, by the way. Salute, Joe. Drink up.
Fuck the Giants.
Jameson break.
Thank you, Andrew Quintana. Who he and his brothers are, dealing with Haitian kids. He's got 8 adopted Haitian kids of his own that he's raising in Haiti. They're setting up, I think, 8 more plots of land that they're going to put orphanages on that that they're going to house, clothe, and feed and educate all these Haitian kids. So not every NFL player is a piece of shit, but unfortunately, stuff like people like David Nelson don't get in the news unless ESPN makes an effort to put them there because of all the negative publicity that's going on with the NFL right now.
Yeah, I mean the two guys that strike me when you talk about this is Derek Coleman, the deaf fullback for Seattle,
yep.
who is an integral part of that team, and he's doing tremendous efforts off the field within the hearing impaired community to make that better. And then
just the inspiration. Like I've seen, I've followed him a little bit.
The Nike commercial.
Yeah, the Nike commercials, and I followed him a little bit. Like there's so many young deaf kids that are like, look, I can play fucking football. I can play a sport.
Or fucking people.
Yeah.
Like fucking people. If a deaf guy's out there playing football, there's no reason that we shouldn't get out of bed and kick ass at whatever the fuck we do.
I agree with you.
It doesn't matter. And that just goes to prove, like, and then before we go any further, too, you got to talk about a guy like Pat Tillman who literally quit playing football and died for your fucking country. Like, it's
incredible.
It's really easy to use the platform as a professional athlete to do good within the world and community, and you've got people that are beating your wife, and the organization that employs them is not even really making the effort to reprimand or fix it or any of that. They're making the effort to sweep it under the rug.
I think the most disgusting thing is
disgusting.
the people that are coming in defense and making it somewhat of a joke as far as the beating of the wife, especially of the Ray Rice thing, like Paul George, what he tweeted out, and then Floyd Mayweather defending Ray Rice, saying his biggest mistake was letting it get on video. I mean, it's you.
Well, I mean, really, when you look at how the NFL handled it,
I agree with you.
How can you argue that wasn't the biggest mistake? Really,
of course.
Like, I mean,
you think Floyd Mayweather would ever make the mistake of letting himself get on video beating up a chick? Hell no.
No, I'm serious.
He does in the privacy of his own home. Only he gets those videos to rewatch.
And I mean, I don't know. I'm not condoning it, but I mean, the way that it's played out over time, like. Obviously, the biggest mistake that he did was get caught.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think Floyd Mayweather actually has a highlights video of all the bitches he's knocked out in his house, and he plays it on a private theater in his home.
That's freaky shit.
I know.
But let's talk about real football. I'm so perplexed by this season. There are so many.
It's been a little strange.
I mean, it's really upside down. What's the biggest surprise on the good side that you think has happened so far?
Biggest surprise on the good side?
Yes.
I would say the teams that have come out of nowhere to surprise everybody. Like, I mean, hell, the Cincinnati Bengals could quite possibly be the best team in football right now. The Chargers beat the fucking Seattle Seahawks, the defending champion.
Everybody said that Antonio Gates was kind of going to have a down year and be on the way out.
Oh, he had a monster game against.
He's been pretty damn near unstoppable.
My thing about the Chargers is this, though: they use the three-headed monster in the running game, and 2 of their 3 heads are broken at this point. So it's like who carries the load at this point for the San Diego Chargers? Like it's they Danny Woodhead, that was a huge loss for them, and then oh God, what's the
Ryan Matthews?
Yes, Ryan Matthews. Ryan Matthews is out, what, 5 to 6 weeks?
I mean, I understand how one could see that as a bad thing, but I've never really thought he was that good anyway. I think if you...
He's huge for that team.
I think if you make him make more than one cut, like he's sunk. Like he can't make more than one cut. He's a straight line back. He's always been a straight line back, and he's susceptible to fumbling. And I actually kind of think the other way, where if Ryan Matthews maybe didn't play as much and gave somebody else an opportunity, I mean,
the best of the three is out for the season. Danny Woodhead is good.
Yeah.
That dude is very good.
Yeah. I mean, that's more going to hurt them, I think, than Matthews being out. I think Matthews being out could actually end up being a little bit of a blessing in disguise for them, slightly.
I don't know. Okay. I mean, I tend to disagree. I mean, I think he in the red zone, he's kind of key for them.
Hell yeah, we're back. You disagree.
Yeah, absolutely. So, everybody at the bar, all 10 of you or 9 of you or 8 of you, whatever.
27.
$4 Sino tequilas, $6 JMO shots. Sino tequila's delicious stuff.
See, so there is a reason to listen to us.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, bring back the
if
pool
only
table.
Superior Fandom had the power to get the pool table back in the down and out, that would be. We would have more influence than we would know what to do with.
We got no juice.
Yeah, who really listens to petitions? Look, I've got this piece of paper with 100 names on it. Make this happen. Sure, okay.
What the hell? You think I'm a registered voter? Come on.
The LAPD hates the down and out, so they decided that they, after 5 years, didn't like us having fun.
It took them 5 years to realize they hate you?
They've known it since day one. They just decided in the 5th year to really fuck with us.
Oh, okay.
So they took our pool table away. Whatever. It is what it is.
I don't know. I just think it's funny there's like a half a dozen just abnormally terrible football teams this year.
It's, of the 1 and 2s that were in the postseason, you got last year. You got the Saints, you got the Colts, you got the Green Bay Packers, and the 49ers. Those 4 teams.
Neither one of those were the teams that I was going to discuss, but that's okay. Carry on.
I was just going to say, like, all 4 of those teams that were in the postseason last year, that all were very, very strong teams last year. 2 of them, of the 4, I say, are kind of screwed right now.
Yeah, I mean,
San Francisco and Green Bay are not very good teams.
Let's just rewind just because I want to talk about this for a second.
What?
Do you think either team in the state of Florida is going to win a football game this year? Either team.
Miami already won a football game.
Or no, I'm sorry, Jacksonville, Tampa Bay.
Okay.
There's 3 in Florida.
There's 3 in Florida.
All right. Do you think Jacksonville and Tampa Bay are going to win?
Yeah. Every time I say that that Jacksonville or Tampa aren't going to win, somebody's going to go into Jacksonville's house, and Jacksonville's going to have the one great game of the year and put it on them.
I do like that Blake Bortles kid,
Blake Bortles is going to throw some touchdowns. He's going to be a decent quarterback.
I don't know. Like I don't know if Tampa's going to win this year.
I just don't think anybody has it in them to do what the Lions did and go.
Tampa Bay, you mean?
No. The Lions. Whenever they had their imperfect season.
So did Miami, right?
No,
they were perfect.
They were perfect.
No. Miami.
Lions were imperfect. They went 0-16 during the season.
Didn't Miami also a few years back? Or did they?
Yeah. No, as far as I know, the Lions are the only team to ever in history
Tampa Bay.
Had
Tampa
the
Bay.
dubious honor of going 0-16.
You're thinking Tampa Bay.
No, it was the Detroit Lions, my friend.
I'll bet you $100.
You don't. I'll bet you $100 right now. The Detroit Lions went 0-16.
Not the only team.
I'm not saying they were. I said, are they? I asked, are
Never
they?
mind. No argument.
Okay.
The team that I think that's good, that's getting a little less credit than they should, is the Falcons.
thank God Steve Watson's outside.
I buy the Falcons.
You're out of your mind. How do you buy on the Falcons?
No,
their
I just
their
buy the
defense has holes all over it. The Saints, who our defense is looking like it's reverting almost back to 2012. We put up 40-plus points on them. We should have won that game. We were set up to win that game. I mean, no, we didn't. You're right. But it is what it is. But the Falcons, no, they improved their offensive line a little bit. They're giving Matt Ryan a little more protection, and he's got healthy weapons. Fair enough. But did you see how they got manhandled by Cincinnati? It wasn't even a game. Like, they couldn't do anything right against that team.
Fair enough.
I'm saying if a team is for real, they don't go into anybody's house and get beat by 30-plus points.
I just think it's week 3.
I agree with you. It is definitely week 3.
No. I don't know. I'm going to quit pretending to care about football. It's September 24th, and you have the floor to give me all the shit that you want.
Yeah, how them Giants?
The magical number for the Los Angeles Dodgers is 1. One game. One game, which I will be at this evening. Clayton
Me too.
Kirk, the best pitcher on the planet, will be going against an old man that pitches for the Giants.
Hopefully he pitches.
He's going to pitch. Clayton Kershaw is going to get it done for us tonight. I'm going to get sprayed by champagne on the field. It's going to be phenomenal.
No.
Yeah, the Giants, you guys are set up at this point to actually have an epic failure of a push because you quite possibly could not make it into the playoffs.
No way. Our magic number is 1 to get in the playoffs.
It is. You have to win one game.
No, the Brewers could lose.
The Brewers could lose. I agree with you. But
we could be.
All I'm saying,
the Giants could be in the playoffs. By
all
the
I'm
time
saying
the
is
game
there's a
starts.
chance.
The Giants could be in the playoffs by the time the game starts.
It's true. It's true. But I would love to see a Milwaukee Brewer team run the table and you guys
That wouldn't happen.
lose out. Here's an ideal scenario of what's going to happen. The Pirates are going to overtake.
Real quick, stop.
No.
Nobody cares about that. Can we talk about Bumgarner and Puig for 1 second?
Oh, for God's sake!
Would that not be the?
How can you say nobody cares about postseason baseball?
Would that
You're out of your mind.
Would Bumgarner and Puig
Out
not
of
be
your
the best
mind,
baseball
Joe.
fight of?
Oh my God!
the
Puig would
longest
he'd break him in half. Are you kidding me? And I love the fact how Bumgarner, after he's got his entire team in front of him last night, he's ready to fight Yasiel Puig all of a sudden. He drops his glove and he's like, "Yeah, come on, 40 people."
I don't think he needed anybody in front of him.
Okay, so you're telling me that Bumgarner would be able to take Yasiel Puig?
I think it would
who's
be
built like a fucking ox.
I think it would be a hell of a fight. I think
need to go smoke more weed because it hasn't affected your mind near enough.
I do need to do that, but I would pay money to watch that fight.
I would too. I would love to see Bumgarner get pummeled by Yasiel Puig. I think that would be incredible viewing pleasures.
I think that would be normally I'm not one for fighting in athletics, but that's a fight that I want to watch.
You smoke way too much weed. Are you
No.
out of your mind?
I've actually cut back a lot.
You actually hate Madison Bumgarner.
No.
I thought that you really liked your ace, but you hate that man because he would get broken.
I think it would be a really good and fair fight. I really do. I think it would be contrasting styles. I think it would be complete.
You guys would be similar.
I know that radio doesn't do justice for looks on people's faces, but I'm genuinely in shock at you right now, thinking that Madison Bumgarner would have a shot at taking Yasiel Puig in a fight.
I think it would be. I think it would just be fun to watch.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like I said, I would love to see Bumgarner get his ass handed to him. That'd be phenomenal.
I'm all about this.
Yeah.
So, realistically, fandom aside, our fandom, how do you see the playoffs playing out? I mean, realistically...
Before we get into that, hold on. I want to say this. You assholes have hit 4 of our batters at this point in 2 games. We haven't hit 1. You know who likes to retaliate?
I really thought Greinke was going to do it.
You know who likes to retaliate more than Greinke?
Who's that?
Clayton Kershaw.
That's fine.
and it's going to be beautiful. After we're up like 6-0, and he's already in the ninth, and he plunks Buster Posey in the ribs.
Yeah, I mean, boys will be boys. I mean, if you really want to
break a leg,
if you want to really retaliate off of a slider that hit a guy in the foot, I mean, like.
What a slider! That was a fastball, brother.
No, he threw it.
That was 92.
He threw it 88 miles an hour. I was there. I watched it hit the gun.
That's about as hard as he can throw. Yeah, I know.
I'm going to ignore that statement because it's false. But he hit him with an 88 mile an hour backdoor slider.
Whatever.
No, he hit him in the foot.
I know he hit him in the foot.
I mean,
I know, and they've got history.
If they were going to retaliate, I think. I mean, I expect it. Like. Don't get me wrong. Like I expect it. Like if it's not going to happen today, it's going to happen in spring training. Like
the Tigers had a bench clear as well, didn't they? Scarlett.
He doesn't listen.
Are you high right now, Matt Scarlett? What? Okay.
What?
His gerbil is running on that damn treadmill. Yeah. What?
Go talk to him. He said, "Get up and go talk."
All right. Anyways, yes, we have a lot of postseason scenarios.
So, who do you think is gonna come out of October? And don't say the Dodgers.
I won't. I will. I'm going to be realistic about this.
They did. The Indians did put up a good fight until they went to Kansas City and shit the bed yesterday. They were only like 3 back in the wild card.
No, the Indians had a good run of it. Yeah, they did.
What happened to
But to
Atlanta
answer your
this
question, Joe, I'm going to be very objective about this. I think the Dodgers are the best team in the National League, but I think we have one of the poorest bullpens in the National League. So I can't realistically, with my heart, say that I see us winning a pennant this year until our bullpen gets fixed. That's why, in a scenario where I would love for you guys have to go to St. Louis and tax St. Louis for another game because they're going to beat you at their house, obviously, and then us host Pittsburgh. I think we can beat Pittsburgh, bullpen or not, and then let the Cardinals and the Nationals beat up on each other. I don't know. I think we can win a pennant. I just don't see it happening because our bullpen is rough. And the Nationals are a very good team. And the Cardinals in postseason, everyone knows what the Cardinals do in the postseason. What? What do you got?
My dark horse in the National League is the Pirates. I think the Nationals will win the National League.
The Pirates aren't winning the National League.
No, dark horse.
Yes, I know. I know what a dark horse is. Okay. Who do you have in the American League?
Dark horse?
Sure.
Baltimore.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing.
Baltimore.
Winning it? That's a tough question.
Angels have been the best team in baseball for a while, but
I think the Tigers. I just don't. I don't.
Stop it. Stop it. Really? Okay.
See, it goes against it. Like, this is where I'm perplexed. Like, I'm really perplexed by both the Angels and the Tigers, and I think they're both really gettable. But in the end, I go to starting pitching, and I just think the Tigers are tough.
They are.
They've been there before. I like Brad Ausmus. Victor Martinez hits everything.
And they're going to put Verlander. They're going to have him coming out of the pen more than likely, which is kind of a huge.
Yeah, I mean, like think about
guy.
this. If whoever they have starting, if you could get whoever you have starting, you go 7 innings. And give it to Verlander for 2 or 3.
I agree.
You don't have to deal with the rest of that bullshit. You really don't.
It's true. I know.
And that's crazy. And I wonder, like, just on a macro level, if that's going to become a key position in baseball, period. Like, to have a lights-out reliever that maybe was a starter.
I hate to say it, but it worked for Lincecum.
At once in his life, that could just go out and just pitch like his fucking hair's on fire for 2 innings, 3 innings, and just get everybody out. That would solve so many problems.
Well, also, you've got, with Verlander, you've got a guy coming out of the bullpen that can throw 100 miles an hour consistently
Yeah.
for however many innings he wants to.
But I mean, even on a macro level, like think about this. Like look at the Dodgers. Like look at the Dodgers. If they had a guy that could just come out of the innings and come out of the bullpen for 2 or 3 innings and just throw like his hair or something.
Well, Mattingly thinks that Jamie Wright is that guy, and he's just not.
But do you?
No, I know. I agree with
Like
you.
that-
I call
know what you're saying.
bullshit.
That would just solve so many problems.
Yeah.
For the Dodgers and a lot of teams.
I agree with you.
It's not just a Dodger thing. Like
Our middle relief is an absolute disaster. It's an absolute disaster.
It would solve a lot of problems for teams like the Tigers. That you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's a valuable fucking thing. Like,
Yeah.
and it's a cool way to see the game changing in that way. Like I don't know. I enjoy it.
So we've got.
Who wins it all? Then we'll get out of here.
If the Dodgers win the pennant, we're winning it all. Other than that, I think the Nationals are taking it this year.
Nats. Natty Nats.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I can't argue that. Like I really can't argue that. I'm kind of
If the Dodgers can somehow, if our bats stay hot, I mean, hell, our bats have been hot as hell, in the last couple of weeks. If our bats can stay hot, we're going to compete for a pennant. But if our bats cool off and we have to depend at all on our middle relief, we're fucked.
I give you the fact that your bats stay hot, you can contend.
Yeah.
I expect Don Mattingly to do something to screw it up. I just expect it.
Fair enough.
Like you know what I mean? Like I just expect him to shit the bed.
But I did, yeah. I think this might be the Nationals' year. They're up and down, just a solid, ridiculous club.
You know what? And shout out goes to former Giant great Matt Williams for getting
No, you
that
mean
team
former
over the
Dodger
hump.
great Jason Worth? Yeah.
Why didn't you re-sign him?
I love
God knows you
I
had
love that
enough
bearded
money.
wonder. Well, they couldn't. He broke his wrist, and we had to do something with him. We had too many prospects, and we had to play somebody, and we had to get something for him. He was in a contract year, and it was either sign him to a multi-year deal with a broken wrist or deal him and get something for him, which is what they did. I love Jason Worth. I've always loved Jason Worth. I wish he was still a Dodger, but I get why they let him go. So, look at more runs for Lester on Lester. I love it.
That's unearned. Another error. I think that's all anybody wants to listen to us for the rest of the day.
Sino Tequila.
So everybody,
Drink it.
That's all? That's all?
go to superiorfandom.com.
Hold on. I want to mention this Tony Stewart thing real quick.
Oh yeah. Shit, we forgot him.
The grand jury is not going to indict him for the murder of
They're calling it a murder.
Ward Jr. And what's this? Kevin Ward Jr. And the family apparently is incredibly upset about it. They're going to pursue further actions to get his, to ease their own minds, I guess. And now they're saying that Kevin Ward Jr. was high, which I don't know how that's even possible.
He's a race car driver, so he's a race car driver stoned during a fucking 500-mile race.
During a sprint cup race. Yeah, I don't buy it. I believe, like Johnny Vodka said earlier, I believe he's a stoner. Yeah, he probably smokes weed, after the race, whatever.
Oh, right.
He tested positive for THC. Fine, okay. But I cannot buy the fact that this kid was smoking weed.
Yeah, that is kind of some ambulance chaser bullshit.
It really is. It really is. As much as I agree with the fact that Tony Stewart should not get indicted for this, I can't. It upsets me that they're saying, well, he was high enough to impair his judgment. No, stop it. I can't buy that. It's a tragic thing that happened. It's an awful thing that you never want to see anything like that. And another driver recently just died in a sprint cup as well in practice. He was a veteran. His car flipped and hit a brick wall. He died. I mean, it's sprint racing is an incredibly dangerous sport.
Racing in general is
Racing
dangerous.
in general is
Anytime you're going to go 200 miles an hour,
I agree with you.
you know what I mean, and be less than, a couple feet from
Yeah.
the cars in front of you, less than a foot in some cases. You know what I mean? They say Rubbin's racing. Like, that shit is scary as fuck.
But Tony Stewart, he's my guy. I'm very glad that he is not getting indicted. I hope that this doesn't ruin his career. I hope that he keeps a level head.
Is he currently racing? Sorry, I don't
No,
know.
he didn't. He didn't. Well, he can race if he wants to, but he's not.
But
He's
he's
not.
not.
He's not chasing a title right now. He's not. He's not in the chase. And yeah, I think he's done for the season.
Okay.
So I hope you come back, Tony. You're my favorite
Tony.
driver. I'm glad you're not getting indicted, brother.
By the way, before I go, there was a couple cool things that happened in the world of sports and television the last couple weeks. 30 for 30, which is a
Yeah.
rad fucking documentary.
Raise it for
series
30 for 30.
Where we watch them all. Won a Emmy or 2 or 5, and they deserved it. That's just I don't know. It's a rad series. I watched them all. That's cool.
I think the 30 for 30 series is the best documentary series after Ken Burns' baseball.
Yeah, and speaking of which, that Ken Burns, Theo Roosevelt,
Yeah.
when they did the Teddy Roosevelt thing, that shit was also fucking rad.
Ken Burns, that guy
Yeah.
can do no wrong in my eyes.
Yeah,
He's a beast.
That was cool. And the Derek Jeter Gatorade commercial, that's
Pretty
just-
sick. I
that's-
sent that to Chris the day, a couple days before it came out. It got blown up on Facebook, and
Yeah.
I saw it and I sent it to Chris.
Yeah.
It's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Did you hear Olbermann last night?
No.
Just bashing the Jeter farewell tour and
No.
saying how Derek Jeter doesn't really deserve it. I generally like Keith Olbermann. I do. He makes me laugh. I think he's got some good insight. But yeah, I think he's a little out of bounds on this one. I don't know.
Fair enough.
It is what it
I
is.
stopped paying attention to him when he dogged Barry Bonds for coming back to the Giants and being a hitting instructor for a week. Not even a full
Oh,
time.
did he hurt your feelings?
No, he was just, he was just an asshole. Like, I don't know. I just didn't need to. I didn't need to partake.
Steve Watson, can you come give Joe a hug? He needs a hug.
I didn't need to partake in his entertainment. That's all.
Olbermann's good stuff. He's pretty awesome. What's up, Jarrett?
You guys, you want to hear some sports technology news?
What do you got?
Only
A
if
company
it's good.
called AKQA and Nike.
What is it?
AKQA,
Okay.
a tech company, and Nike have co-ventured to create a smart basketball court.
What does that mean? A smart basketball court.
The
What does
floor
that
lights
mean?
up to guide players through expertly designed training programs.
What?
The court is comprised of LED screens, sensors, and motion tracking devices.
Who's
So
paying for
coaches-
that shit?
What's that?
Who's paying for that shit?
At Nike.
I mean,
It was created for a Chinese reality TV show.
that makes sense. All right, there it is.
There you
It's,
go.
yeah.
We are digging deep, folks, and I think that's all we have.
That's what we got. That's all we got today.
I'm not smart enough to talk intelligently about that.
Thank you, Down and Out, again. Thank you, 5 or 6 people that are here drinking Sino tequila like it's water. Thank you, God. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Facebook. Yes, go to superiorfandom.com. Thank you. We're out.